voice without a name for so long. Beautiful smile to hide the pain. Did you ever know that you're my hero? And everything I would like to be. I can fly higher than an eagle. You are the wind beneath my wings.
Hey, hey, it's Tuesday, and if it's Tuesday, it's Confessions of a Special Needs Mom. I'm your host, Gina Waterman, and you are listening live on Fishbowl Radio Network. We are here every Tuesday, 2 p.m. Central, and welcome back. If you've been with us before, you know we're meeting here at the intersection of disability, grief, and faith. I am a grief recovery specialist, and I help people essentially heal from emotional pain, from losses and things like divorce, death, pet loss, career loss, any number of losses. There's about 40 of them that the Grief Recovery Institute has identified in their work over the years. And I use the method, the Grief Recovery Method, which is an evidence-based program and really the gold standard in dealing with and overcoming grief and loss. So I am here. I have a special guest with me today, Bridget Angus. Thanks for coming on with us today.
My pleasure.
And Bridget is a mom of, she has 3 kids, but her youngest daughter has Down syndrome and is thriving, living in the community. And I wanted her to come on to share a bit of her story, as well as give us some hope and encouragement, because, you know, why not? There's definitely, when we have, our audience has been, if you've been watching my fan page and listening, you know I've posted a bit about this, but we tend to lead with the disability first rather than look at our kids as individuals. And so when I met Bridget, I had such a great feeling about her that I said, you know, this would be great for you to share some of this story with my listeners. And it was early on. She didn't even know I was doing a podcast, but we know each other through our neighborhood, and she's, as I said, it was uplifting, and I wanted to bring it to the listeners.
We just clicked.
Yeah.
We did. We had this.
For sure. So I also wanted to just remind people that on my show, the music clips that we select are from our guests. So everything you're hearing today, that was, of course, Bette Midler, is chosen from my guests. These are meaningful songs or songs that either some of our guests have had songs that they sing with their kids or that mean something to their kids. And I've also used in my own episodes songs that really hone in on the themes of some of the grief that I'm experiencing or that I want to illustrate. So with breakups, relationships, all of those things. I've done that in the past. So I just want to remind people of that. I also like to open our episodes before we get started with lighting a candle and taking a minute to breathe. And remember those that we may be grieving over today. Someone we have lost recently, or we may be grieving, again, a living relationship. So I wanted to just take a minute to do that and acknowledge that. So, okay, Bridget, thank you again for coming on. This is great to have you here. You shared with me when we first met a little bit about Jennifer's birth story with me and how you felt during the pregnancy, and this was your 3rd child. Can you share a little bit about that with our listeners today, what that felt like?
Yes, I can. I was an older mother that found out that she was pregnant, and I had 2 other just beautiful pregnancies, and this one was a beautiful pregnancy. It wasn't a total surprise that I was pregnant, but it was like, okay. And because I was an older mother, my pediatrician had suggested that I be tested for any kind of a birth defect. And I said, well, he said, my mothers that are 35, I suggest it. My mothers that are 36, 37 years old, I almost insist on it. And I said, well, I'm in the middle there. And having the test would probably not change my mind in any way. So I am just going to agree not to have that test.
Okay.
And through our relationship as knowing one another, that, I love the Lord. And I can remember at my church, there were probably 30 some odd women at the same time that were all pregnant.
Oh, wow.
And, kind of all 1 month after another. And there was a young mother that, was my age. And I can remember that little family going up to the prayer rails all the time. And because she had been given a false result
A result?
from that test.
Wow. Okay.
So they were just, I guess, obedient to go and say, hey, I'm going to pray about this, pray about this, pray about this. Never knowing at the very end, when I did have Jennifer, I was the one to have that little special girl.
Right.
So life went on. Jennifer came into our world, and it was like, okay, what now? Where do we go from here?
Yeah.
And I can remember at the hospital, after she was born, there was a little bit of concern about her heart. And I guess they did all of the basic tests that needed to be done.
Right.
And after things kind of settled down and we had swallowed that first, information, I had the most special, beautiful people come into my room, our lives, Down Syndrome Guild, very first ones on the scene, didn't even know who they were.
Right.
And here we go. We're off
You're
on
the
our
ride.
our
You're
travels.
on the ride. Yeah. Whether you want to be or not.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
See, I thought I was going to
Yeah.
I thought I was going to Italy for this trip, and I ended up
Yeah.
in Pohunken.
Yeah. In Holland, they say.
Yes.
You know the Holland poem that,
Yes.
that people share
Yeah.
when you have a child with a disability. And I won't share that here. You guys, our listeners, have heard this a million times probably. And I'm not actually a super fan of that particular one, but it is that feeling.
It is.
Jeff, my friend, likes to say you were expecting to get on a bus and you're on a boat. And you just you gotta wing it. You gotta go with it, Gina.
Your navigation.
You gotta, navigation's different.
Mm-hmm.
But we're gonna figure this out
Yep.
because that's what we do as
Yep.
parents.
One day at a time.
Exactly.
One day at a time.
Yep.
So there we started, and having the support that I had right away.
That's
It was
awesome.
beautiful.
Yeah.
It was beautiful
I love
because
that.
I think as a new mom, we all go, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? What am I? How am I going to do this?
Sure.
You just don't know.
Absolutely.
And I think that's true with any child. It doesn't necessarily have to be one that is, special needs. It's just, there's no instruction manual that comes with
Right.
these kids. So,
Right.
therefore, you kind of have to navigate that one day at a time.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the Down Syndrome Guild came, the members of the guild came
Yes.
to the hospital to be with you.
Yes.
That's amazing.
And they gave me so much nice information and said, this is not the end of the world. It is the start of something special.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
And they were true to those words. And we, as Jennifer got older, of course, we went through, we had the physical therapist and the speech therapist and all of those that came into our lives in our home. And here I had, Jennifer has an older sister and an older brother. Now, her brother was with my ex-husband, and but her sister, who was 5 years older, it was a real challenge for her. And I think it was that she was trying to figure out what is this all about?
Sure.
And, why is this baby getting, attention that, maybe some of that should be directed to me.
Right.
And I got to thinking about that after, Gina, you and I talked. I thought, my older daughter, I'm sure she probably had questions galore, and she was frightened, and
absolutely.
I just never, I didn't. It's not that I never picked up on that, but it was just, a saying that we say to our children: "It's going to be okay."
Sure.
It's going to be okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you kind of pat them, and then kind of go on to the next thing. So, her sister had some things.
And her sister was how old when she was born?
She was 5.
She was 5.
Yeah.
You said that. Okay, so and she was 5 years older.
Yeah.
So, okay, you said something really important there that I wanted to touch on. That you said to her, you said to your older daughter, it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
And you were trying to reassure her.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you probably didn't know what it was going to be like, right? And she
No.
could. So this is part of your grief. This is part of the story that we tell ourselves and we show our kids. And I wanted to illustrate this because we do it all the time. I've done it myself. I continue to. I'm more aware of it when it's happening because of what I do for a living as in the grief recovery. But and I'm not saying you did anything wrong. I'm just illustrating this point that that was your grief, and you know what? She felt it. Even though you were saying the words,
yes,
it's going to be fine. She felt something's off here. Something's not
Absolutely.
right. So our kids feel this. That's why I want you to work on yourselves and your emotional health because, and some different coping mechanisms and skills because I've said before on my show, I don't go all out, but I don't hide my feelings, especially when I'm sad or really in the depths of struggling with something. And crying with my son, I don't hide it. I don't, try and keep it all in because guess what? He knows there's something up anyway.
Oh, absolutely.
And he'll come up to me and say, even if I'm not crying, he'll just be like touch me on the shoulder sometimes, and it'll shock me because he is verbal now. He can't hold a back and forth conversation, but he's much more capable of expressing now than he was when he was little, and he'll say, "Mommy is sad."
Yeah.
Even before I've said anything or done anything. He'll come up to me and I'll be like, oh, yeah, I'm a little bit sad. And then we'll go from there. But so I just wanted to illustrate that.
Our children do pick up on that.
They pick up on
and Jamie
everything.
did. I think, my daughter had to go through grieving, because she kind of looked around and she said, my sister's not like that. Or my sister's not like that, so you better not. All of those emotions, and of course I was feeling those emotions myself.
Absolutely, yeah.
So
I'm sure
my church family was amazing. They came to the needs if there were any, and there were, and we were growing. We were starting to grow in a world we knew nothing about.
Right.
But yet there were people on the outskirts that were there to minister if we needed the ministering, pick us up if we, got down.
You had a great support system in the church. it sounds
absolutely
like.
great
And that's
support
wonderful
system.
to hear.
And
Yeah.
you know, my best friends were there, and yes, it is amazing how the support comes from, you know, our world when we think we're out there on an island, and we're not on an island.
Right.
We got a lot of support.
We do. But again, the isolation is easy and quick because we've been taught that for so long.
Yes.
And I think we shared that too. And how we are taught as kids, it sticks with you. Even, I mean, I'm in my 50s. You're a mature woman as well. I just feel as though it's possible to rewrite that script, but you need to do a lot of work. It doesn't happen automatically. And you are
No.
a living example of that as well, because it takes courage to do all the things you shared with me that you've done, both as a single mom, and you know the changes that you've experienced, and also
Yeah.
you were working during all that
was
time. You
working.
weren't, yeah.
I've always
You've always
worked.
worked. So there are, you know, listeners that have and that have not had to work outside the house. I believe again, everybody's working. I don't like when
No,
people say,
yeah.
"Oh, you're just a stay-at-home mom," or "You're just a mom,"
Yeah.
which
That's a whole lot of work.
yeah, that's the work that nobody else wants to do that work. If they stepped into our shoes one day, or even whatever, they would realize it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And that's both moms and dads, because we have stay-at-home dads as well that have been on the show. Back to that, though, that also, you, in your bio that you wrote, which was excellent, you actually said your older daughter helped you with that.
Oh, yes, she did.
And I kept the title in there, guys. So on in the invitation to the show, and when I posted about the show, I kept not just a mom.
Mm-hmm.
Because you kept mentioning that, it was just a mom. And I was like, you're more than just a mom. And besides, moms have a huge responsibility in this world to me, whether you're, again, working inside the home only or working outside the home and juggling all of it, because we're constantly juggling things.
Constantly juggling.
And don't you think that it gets even more complex or more important to maybe not stay on top of it, but as they age, because my son's older now, I feel like there's more to do and be responsible for as far as paperwork still, once you get, you know, SSI and all this other stuff happening. There's even more to be on top of.
Absolutely.
It doesn't stop. It's
Absolutely.
just like, because if you...
It never stops,
Yeah.
actually, because
Right.
I know I became a single mom.
Okay.
And then I had met people that, a little lady that was going to my church, and actually we were briefly in the choir together, and she had told me that she had her daughter in a program that was really, really helping her daughter. And of course I asked her what that program was, and she said, well, she goes to Notre Dame School of Dallas.
I love that.
Never heard of Notre Dame School of Dallas.
Uh-huh.
And I went, well, what is this? And she shared what it was. And at the time, Jennifer wasn't old enough to go to Notre Dame, because you had to be, you know, a certain age. I think
Right.
you had to be 6 and older. So she was younger. And so I just always kept that in the back of my mind as far as, okay.
Yeah.
Then we started into early childhood, actually.
The ECI
Yes.
services? It
Yes.
came into your home?
Well, they came to our home, and then Jenny went out. I can remember my daughter's name is Jennifer, and I can remember her getting on the bus when she was 3 years old we lived in Richardson, and she got on the bus, and she had her little backpack on, and we had discovered through her aging and growing up that she was born with cataracts.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know that you could be born with cataracts.
Me either.
And you know, just a little quick story behind that. At that time, I was working for a law firm, and one of the female attorneys, her husband, was a renowned ophthalmologist, and actually he had developed with other doctors the interocular transplant. And just through, I guess his research and doing all, I mean,
Right.
he was very successful at what he did. And I had told my attorney, I said, Jenny has been diagnosed with cataract. And I said, do you think that there's any way that she could come see your husband? Well, her husband didn't take pediatric people.
Right.
And, but he wanted to be a doctor to Jennifer.
Okay.
So he went and got qualified through the state of Texas to provide the care
Okay.
and the surgeries that she needed.
Wow.
To remove the cataracts, and then she couldn't have the transplants, the implants put in, because she was so tiny. I mean, we started at 3 months old.
Yeah.
The first one was at 3 months old, and the second one was at 7 months old.
Wow.
And so she had these little bitty glasses on that were just thick as a Coke bottle. I mean, they were Coke bottle lenses.
Yeah.
Until such time as her eye grew. There's growing spurts with everything in our bodies, and
Right.
her eyes had to grow to a certain age, and then we could go back and have the implants done. So this doctor got qualified to do the removals of her cataracts, and then he referred us on to the pediatric ophthalmologist that I'm sure a lot of our families go to.
Yes. I was going to ask you who the doctors were at that point, but it's
Dr.
Stiglitz?
Barry.
Dr. Barry.
Yes.
And Priscilla Berry.
Priscilla
She was
Berry,
ours.
yes.
She was Kenneth's.
Yes.
Kenneth started wearing glasses at 6 to 7 months old
Yes.
for strabismus.
Yes.
And he still wears glasses today.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so does
They're
Jenny.
amazing.
Yeah, and she had strabismus, and she had
That
had the surgery
office
for
was
that.
amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
see,
and we're
here we
talking
are.
again, for the listeners that are outside of the area, we're talking again in North Texas and Dallas. I'll be putting stuff in the show notes of all the places we've been talking about, including the Notre Dame School of Dallas.
Yes.
But go on.
So, because I found out about Notre Dame, and then I had become a single parent, Jenny
Right.
had finally reached the age, and I thought she was in public schools, and the public school system is absolutely great. They're wonderful.
Yeah.
We would have our individual education plans, our IEPs done for her school year, and I just felt like we weren't going to reach her potential. She just had a lot of potential.
Right.
So I said, okay, I'm going to get her to Notre Dame somehow, some way. And then I found out that they had a scholarship program.
Yeah. Yeah.
Went and
they still do.
applied.
Yeah.
Went and applied for that scholarship program.
Yeah.
Got selected to have that scholarship program.
Okay.
It was exactly the amount of money that I could pay for her education at Notre Dame. I mean,
God works in
it's a
mysterious
God
ways.
thing.
Yeah,
it is totally a God thing.
I believe
and
it.
then here we go, and we start growing up with friends and families and kiddos that we all grew up together. And she was there from the time that she was 10 years old. A little, well, she went in, and then I had to take her out, and then she went back in, and it was really 10 to the time that she was 22 years old. So that was 12 years that we were in Notre Dame and graduated. And
which is not uncommon for
No.
a lot of kids that attend that school. My son, as I shared, just graduated from the vocational program. He was only there 4 years. It was post high school for us, but not uncommon to see kids that were there and they grew up together. And the teachers that are there, amazing.
Amazing.
The principal, administrator,
Yes.
Miss Carmen.
Miss Carmen.
You knew her before I knew her, and she was in a different role then. But yeah, they are just amazing, loving community that I, as well,
And
was
they
like, I need
love-
to get him here.
They love your child.
Yeah.
They love Jenny. They love Kenneth.
They embrace.
They just
They embrace all families,
Yes.
all the disabilities, because there's now more IDD there than Down syndrome, And what's interesting too, because we knew about it because another friend of mine who has a daughter with Down syndrome, she is a couple of years older than Kenneth. She'd been there also since middle school. So I had heard about it and I knew about it. And I knew about it through the Rise School because we were there for a gap year when he was little. But I didn't really know much more than that until I started to tour it and look at it. And I thought, wow, this is the potential. These are people who are going to challenge him. And I'm sure you felt that as well,
Absolutely.
even back then.
Yes.
This school's been around for over 60 years now, right?
Long time.
It's grown, expanded. And can you tell us a little bit then about, as she aged out then at 22, the STAR program, the day adult program that they have now that Ken is entering, wasn't in existence back then? Or
Well,
was
it was, but it was not called STAR.
Okay.
It was called postgraduate.
Okay.
I mean, you know,
And what did
because
that
they
mean
were.
at that point for Jennifer and friends of hers?
Well, in the Texas public school system, you cannot educate a child beyond 22. That's what Texas public school says.
Right.
But we know with our children that they still need that education, and especially the vocational training, the life skills that
Yes,
they
the life
get.
skills, or at least the routine.
Yes,
They may
ma'am.
not need the academics as much at that
Yes.
age, but yes, I get what
Yes.
you're saying. Yeah.
So with that, we went to postgraduate, now STAR program, and at that time, Miss Carmen was, she was the one that was over determining and finding out that there was one of their students that was a candidate to go on in a different path.
I see.
Because you stayed on the path that Notre Dame had set out for you. You started in primary, and then you went to Bridges, and then you went to vocational, and then you had post. And Jennifer got opportunities to go work at different places. During the vocational years, we worked at a nursing home where she was in the dining room, and we folded napkins and made sure the tables had salt and pepper and all the different things there. And then she worked in a daycare center, and then she worked at a law firm. And then we went and worked for Blue Cross Blue Shield. And it was quite obvious that Jennifer had more skills in the world of food and beverage and dining room. And a lot of that was because in my household,
Right.
by the time that she was 10 years old, she was washing her own clothes.
Okay.
She was setting the table.
Okay.
She was clearing table, doing dishes,
Yeah.
doing things that, you know, it were daily living skills.
Yeah,
Everybody needs daily living skills.
absolutely.
And
And I
I
love
had-
that you were doing it at such an early age, because so many of us, I've shared this before,
Yes.
especially, and I don't know whether, I think it does have a little bit to do with it when you have one child versus more, two or more, but it just seems as though a lot of people out there, I'm talking to you ladies and gents, are still doing a lot more for your kids than you need to be doing right now. So listen to this, listen up, because this is huge. At 10,
Yes, ma'am.
you were already expecting her
Yes.
to participate and do her laundry and helping her,
Yes.
guide her, to teach her those skills.
Absolutely.
That's huge.
The first thing that
And
we started
necessary.
out with were sorting the clothes. Is that color? Is that a color? Is that a white? Is that a this? Is that a towel? You know, just simple little things like that. And it takes a while. You know, things have to click. And, you know, it takes a while. And I can remember going back to when the Down Syndrome Guild came into our lives. I can remember a question that I was asked: what are your expectations of this child? And I said, that's a really good question. I would have to say that she can do pretty much anything that she wants to do. She might take the longer way around the barn to do it, but by
Yes.
golly, just knowing the temperament and of this child, she will do and she will accomplish a lot.
Yes.
And she has. And the little skill with sorting the clothes.
Yeah.
And then figuring out how to put the detergent in the washer. We had to do it in steps. And
Baby steps,
they were
as
baby
they say.
steps. They were baby
How
steps.
do you eat an elephant? Once.
But you said just a minute ago that we do a lot of things for our children that, you know, maybe we shouldn't do, that they have the skills to do it, but yet.
It's the
you know,
expectation. It's
you're
raising
a-
the bar.
Right. You're a mom.
You're a mom.
You know, I worked.
Yeah.
We're in a hurry. We have to get out the door a certain time.
Yep. We got to get to
Her
therapy.
sister
we
had
got
to be to school.
games.
And
Yeah.
she had to be to
Yeah.
the bus stop for Notre Dame, and we had this time
You
clock.
had a very,
It was rigid.
I'm sure, a drill sergeant thing in the morning. You
Yes,
mentioned,
ma'am.
getting up earlier too.
Yes, I did.
And I love this. Can you share just a little slice of that you got up earlier to do what?
I had my quiet time.
Yeah.
I had my quiet time. I could be with the Lord, do my little prayer. I could get my shower. I could get my face, my hair done, everything done before I woke up the kids.
Before everybody else was up.
Before the atmosphere and the noise in the house changed, because it does.
It
you
does.
know,
Always does.
It's
and
really
this was when
quiet.
you were, I call it a party of three. This is still right?
Yes, we were still a party
The
of
girls were
three.
with you. Their brother was with their dad.
Dad.
And you hadn't yet remarried. So that party of three had to change when you met your current husband.
Yes.
Can you tell us how that kind of went? Were they excited at first? Were they jealous at the time? What was that like? And what age were they at that point
Well,
when you guys
I
started
was-
getting serious?
Yes, I was concerned that they would not be receptive. But my husband, he has such a way. Jamie, let's see, Jennifer was 10, almost 11. So that made my older daughter 15, going on 16.
Yeah.
And my husband had gone to them before we had gotten married, and he actually proposed to them and
love
said,
this.
I want to marry your mom.
Wow.
He had my ring, and he showed it to him, and he said, you think your mom would like this? And they both looked at it, and you know, they had pretty much accepted him. I mean, this wasn't like a one day and then
Right,
the next
right.
day and then we were married. So there was
They'd
some
been around
time.
him.
Yeah,
You guys had
absolutely been around
primed
him.
the pump, so to speak.
Yep. And
Oiled the.
he was
yeah.
so sweet to bring them into it before he ever even asked me.
I love that about him. I haven't met him yet. I feel like I know him.
He is.
He's watching today.
Such
I
a nice
that. No, I do
man.
because I
Nice
think that's just
person.
so old. It's old school, but it's also extremely thoughtful.
Yeah.
And it shows and demonstrates that he wanted to connect with your children, and this is super
Absolutely.
important because they're in your life, and they will be
Absolutely.
in his as you.
As
blend
we
the
are.
families,
This
right?
is 26 years now. that
Yeah,
he-
that's
yes.
huge. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank
That's a
you.
big deal.
Thank you.
For everybody.
Yes.
Who's able to sustain and keep a marriage together, a partnership together.
Yes.
Well,
But I had to kind of share with him, okay,
Yeah.
are you sure that you
Yeah.
want to do this? You know, because
Absolutely.
Jenny, you know, she has challenges.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. I didn't mean to cut you off there, but we're going to take a short break here, and then we'll come back. If you have just joined us, we're talking to Bridget Angus and about her experience with her youngest daughter who has Down syndrome and is 36 today. So we'll be right back. How do you feel? They can hear us right now. You feel all right? Okay, good.
What do you
He's
think?
doing very well. Good.
I've been carrying this pain alone, hiding wounds I've never shown.
Minutes of talk and then Welcome back to Confessions of a Special Needs Mom. I'm Gina Waterman, your host, and we have with us Bridget Angus. So we were talking earlier before the break about a variety of things, but I asked you about your husband and the relationship and what happened when you really got serious and brought him into the girls' lives. And I love, again, that he was very thoughtful. Both of you took the time to really include the kids and make sure everybody was, I don't know, on board before you went to the chapel, so to speak. So since that time, I don't want to fast forward too much, but we're towards the end of our show here. Do you want to share with us and the listeners especially kind of what's been your biggest surprise and triumph for Jennifer since those early days?
She has succeeded in ways that I just never expected.
Mm-hmm.
I've often said and wondered, because she is so tenacious. if she, and I hate to kind of phrase it this way, but if she had been normal, whatever that
typical.
is.
We like to say typical, yeah.
Yeah,
or typically
typical.
Developing. Mm-hmm.
She probably would be running this country. She has said, I'm going to be a jockey. I'm going to go on Dancing with the Stars. I'm going to do American Idol. Everything, anything, she sees it, she says, I'm going to do. And with
That's
that tenacity, Gina, let me just say this. And moms, I want you to listen to this. They are independent.
Yeah.
Very independent. And you can't crush that. You have to encourage it. Now, in some encouraging of that world of being more independent, Jennifer is thoroughly convinced that she is going to drive a car, is going to have her own apartment, is going to get married and have 2 children, 2 girls, have her own dog, her own cat. All of the things, all the normal things.
Sure, that everyone
a little
desires.
girl dreams about.
Sure.
Absolutely. And of course, I've told her, Scott and I have shared with her about you can live by yourself independently, but it needs to be in like a group setting.
Okay.
And she does not want that. She does not want that.
She wants to be on her own.
She wants to be on her own apartment, and talks about, all those things. And we have to talk to her about, well, how are you going to afford those things?
Right.
It takes, the
reality of life.
The reality. It takes this to have a car, and it takes that to have an apartment, and so forth and so on. The beauty about Notre Dame is they talked through her vocational years about there are 4 things in life that you need to make sure that you have.
Yep.
And those are shelter, water, food, and electricity. She gets those concepts to a tiny little bit, but she has no concept of money,
right?
How to manage it in any form or fashion. So,
like a lot of our kids,
yes,
our young adults,
yes,
yeah, and that's. But that's huge. I love that she's expressing that to you. And you mentioned when we first talked at the coffee shop for quite a long time about the car, and that you didn't think that she'd be driving at any time. But when you meet her, you said to me, she's going to tell you the type of car she wants, and she's got it all planned out. And I thought, this is great.
The color, everything, everything. And it's a common conversation with everybody and anybody
she
that
meets?
she meets. Absolutely.
I love that.
So
in a way, it's probably gets on your nerves, maybe, I'm thinking, because she brings it up all the time. But
Yes.
for those that she meets and anybody new in her life, it probably is pretty cool.
But there are those out there that it's possible
Yes.
because she has friends that
Yeah.
we grew up with
Okay.
that actually drive a vehicle.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And the very first little girl that we met through our Special Olympics and
Yeah.
years and all of that,
Yeah.
she was driving a car and her parents let
wow.
her do that.
Yeah.
And she had a concept of a boundary within her little city.
Yeah.
She lived on the outskirts of Dallas.
Uh-huh.
You know, that she could drive in, and that's as far as she could go, but they let her do it.
Okay.
And, you know,
Wow.
my husband and I were at that point, well, let's just let her do it. So,
Uh-huh.
what we have encouraged her to do, which she is doing
Yeah.
daily, I might add,
What's that?
is studying for her driving test.
No way. Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's exciting.
It's an online program that
Okay.
you can get, and it's
Okay.
the written part and not the driving part,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
the written part.
Yeah, you gotta
And they
start
give you little
somewhere.
test behind it, and she pretty much does that every day. And
That's
she'll come in
exciting.
and she'll say, "Well, I didn't get all green."
Uh-huh.
That means she got everything right. So we have
Wow.
said to her as soon as she got all greens,
Mm-hmm.
that we would have another conversation about this.
Wow. How
So-
many hours is that online? I don't even know. Like,
Well, for her,
'cause I don't have any
it's-
drivers in my household right now, except for me, and I've learned in New Jersey. So, go on.
It's hours and hours and hours that she would be on there.
Yeah,
And they
yeah.
let you keep taking it. It's a
Okay.
program that we pay for, and
Oh, okay.
you know, she's
Gotcha.
had it for several years.
But is this? It's the same test then that a lot of high schoolers are taking
Absolutely.
to get their driver's license. You have to
Yes.
take the written part, and then you do the practice part. I mean, I've been out of this for many years, guys,
Yeah.
but I remember way back in the day, you had to do both of those and pass those before you could even have anybody drive with you in your car. You had the learner's permit back then. Do they
Yes.
have that here in
Oh,
Texas?
the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yes, we have to do the whole thing.
Yeah. So
And it's an
that's
online. It's a state of Texas supported thing. So
super
it is
exciting
exactly
for her.
Yeah,
She must be thrilled.
she is.
Okay, what does her sister think about this? I'm just curious. She must have thoughts like, "Oh no, we don't want her on the road,"
No.
or "Oh, whatever. I'm great because we don't have to drive her as much anymore." I
Right.
don't know.
Well,
What is
there
she
there
saying?
are those dreams, but those
Yeah.
are never going to be a reality.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think she's got such a vision problem and everything.
Okay.
I don't know that she would ever be able to
Yeah,
operate a motor vehicle.
You want to
but
keep you
that's
want to keep your
okay.
kids safe. I mean, there are a couple people actually, not a couple. There's one I can think of right now that's in our karate group actually that has her son. He doesn't have Down syndrome, but he's got autism, and he's taken the courses, or she's done some private thing that they take him to, and I was like, really?
Yeah.
I have to say that you saw them on my face, like, is he ready for that? It's not just the learning how to drive these days. There's so many different layers, and the other drivers I'm worried about how poorly everyone else is driving since COVID and forever, but
Yes.
since COVID's gotten worse, I think, and probably in every state. I don't know. You guys can chime in on the comments section of this if you're watching live. But my other point is with the motor planning skills. I mean, that's what popped in my head when she told me about her son. I was like, whoa, seriously? Like, you really think that's not to put him down, but I'm like, that's the first thing I was thinking. Like, does he have the
Motor skills.
capacity for the motor planning that takes place
Yes.
in driving a vehicle? Like,
Yes.
this is scary stuff.
I mean, there's a lot that we take for granted. We
Yeah.
just do it.
We just do automatically.
Uh-huh.
It comes automatic.
Yeah.
And I worry again about anybody on the road with a young adult who's learning how to drive or doesn't have many hours behind them, that it just takes an instant, because I've been hit 3 times, major
Yeah.
accidents. Well,
Yeah.
one of them was near death, so I shouldn't be here. But the point is, you just don't know, and we are able to react because of our experience driving.
Right.
We're aware,
Right.
but young drivers and new drivers, that scares me.
It's scary.
Anyway,
But
That's- yeah.
even though that's a common conversation, and I don't want to discourage her.
Sure.
But I have a level of encouraging her to.
Well,
proceed.
I love that. Yeah. And you've done that, it sounds like, all her life, and that's also what I love, and it's very hopeful and encouraging to me just to hear from a veteran mom who's been in this for a while, that she is working. She's got her job at Kroger near your house-ish,
Yes.
right? So she's living, thriving. She's contributing in the household as you would expect.
Yes.
And she's kind of part of the community and doing those things. I'm hopeful that eventually she'll come to some of the things Kenneth belongs to, like the I Belong events that I've told you, but she works on Saturdays, so
Right.
it hasn't quite gelled.
Yeah.
But there'll be time, and I'm hopeful for them to meet. Anything else that you think our listeners could hear a nugget, something else that you could share before we start wrapping it up?
Yeah, because of all of the years of being in this world, I'm sure, just like you, we have conversations with other moms and dads, and we learn something new every day. And I am not above sharing any and all of the knowledge that I've gained, if I've even gained any, you know.
Of course you have.
Of course I have. But it's,
Yeah.
we need to help each other. We need to not hold those things in as secret, and share as much as you can with maybe it would resonate with one excuse me, or another, that you could take this path instead of that path. And I get excited about sharing those things. I get excited about telling people about Notre Dame.
Yes.
I get excited about the program that, after we did the postgraduate world, Jennifer went to My Possibilities. My Possibilities is amazing. Those are amazing people.
Absolutely.
And they have done some terrific things with the young adults over there.
Yes.
And moms and dads included. We stopped going to My Possibilities after COVID. Jennifer had kind of reached a point with that she didn't really need that so much. Now, the part that I miss for her is that she stays in her community, socially connected with all these people. So we've got all of these other special events that happen.
Okay.
Notre Dame still has the alumni things that you can get together with them and see your old buddies.
Yeah.
And then even Bachman Lake, where we did after school care, they have an alum kind of thing.
Okay.
My Possibilities has their big gala that they do.
Do you guys
every
go to
year.
that?
We have done it
I love
several
it.
times.
Okay. Because I think I mentioned to you, or maybe I didn't. One of Kenneth's close friends from high school and middle school, they both went to those schools together in Richardson ISD. They are very still connected and friends, and she went off at Trent when it was after 18. They both graduated from Pierce, and she went off to MP right away, and he went to Notre Dame for the vocational.
Yeah.
They still are connected. So I hear from her mom how she's doing and experiences there. I mean, MP, and for those, again, not in North Texas, My Possibilities is, they have 2 tracks, but it is a day program for young adults with disabilities, all disabilities, and they have a track for more work experience, vocational experience, and then another track for, they call it college, but it's it's academics post high school.
It's still honing in on those daily living skills.
Functional living
Yes,
skills, they call
absolutely.
it FLS. Yes. So excellent program here also in North Texas, but again, we are still, like many families in Texas, waiting for that HCS and waivers to help us offset the cost of that, because we still pay out of pocket for everything right now.
Yeah.
And My Possibilities is quite expensive, as are a lot of these places.
Yes.
Like 29 Acres, I had a guest on last week, Shari, whose son goes there. And they're just expensive. Everything's expensive.
Yes.
So I just wanted to mention, for those people that aren't familiar with My Possibilities, what she's talking about. I love that you guys, it sounds like you're so connected. You're just like me. You stay
we
connected
try.
after you leave a place.
Yes.
And I've always felt strongly, because I'm always, thanking people, and not to say that I'm special in that way or anything, or accolades, but I just feel it's just me realizing I can't do this without you. And the
Right.
community is so strong. Again, the whole concept of community above and beyond just the schools and the therapy centers and all of it. It's your church, as you've just
Absolutely.
brilliantly stated through this whole program. Your church in the beginning
Has
community
embraced
has
her.
embraced her.
They embraced her.
Yeah.
In a church that we actually grew up in, and
Uh-huh.
then we left that church, but we're part of another, and she
Yeah.
loves coming if her schedule,
Yeah.
because she works at Kroger, she usually works on a weekend.
Okay.
If her schedule allows her to come.
Okay.
And, the thing that I get back from people that watch Jenny worship the Lord and stuff, they just say they are just so enthralled by it as the innocence of the way that, she just loves the Lord. And I go, yeah. And it ministers to them. So it is so sweet.
Yeah.
And when somebody says that to me, I am just, thank you, Lord, that you used my child.
It's almost
my
as-
daughter, my
yeah.
adult daughter.
Yeah, absolutely. It's you could say it another way. Jennifer's touching their lives in unexpected ways, and you never thought, right?
People say all the time, she's smart. She's got it.
Yeah.
And they love her. The customers where she works at Kroger's, they love her. The management loves her. She just reaches people, in a different way. And she is the friendliest, has the biggest smile on her face. I'm surprised she's not standing at the front door going, "Welcome to Kroger's. Can I show you where this is, where that
Right,
is?"
right.
But they love her there, and she's thriving.
Do they have a hospitality group in your church like we do? 'Cause
Yes.
that would be something for her.
Yes.
If you wanted to. My son
yes.
loves it. I signed us both up, and I feel, again, he can do it. He can do things. And a lot of people were tentative at first, like, oh, well, do we need to have extra hands or whatever? I'm like, we do the ushering. We have a balcony in our church, just as an example. We hand out the orders, the service programs, but we also usher. And so we've gone back to old school, even though you can do it online and the QR code and we live stream all that. We
Yes,
still have the
we
old
do
school ushering. And he does that with me. And it was amazing how I was like, okay, Kenneth, we're going to do this. And I think you're going to be great at hospitality because he's a hugger.
Yeah.
And I know with strangers and with most people in the community and definitely at school, we have rules around hugging as he's gotten older. But with the people that he knows and the church community, they love him. He's grown up in my church, and since he was 1 year old, we've been going to this church.
Yes.
So it was just a natural progression, and I thought, this is a great way for him to get socialization, maybe get him out of his shell more. And he loves doing it. There's some days when he's a little cranky and he doesn't want to do it, but normally it's like, okay, I'm going to do this. So I've kind of been the shadow to help him in the balcony.
Yeah.
It's a little slower pace than it is down at the bottom in the sanctuary,
Yes.
because that goes real fast and you got to be on top of it.
Yes.
But I think, guys, if you haven't done this, I'm not preaching again, but just an example again of how our kids, we can incorporate them, because there's a lot of talk all the time about inclusion. And again, yes, we want inclusion in our classrooms and our schools, and forever this has been
Yes.
going on, before we were even knew what autism and Down syndrome really were or knew of individuals. And I have now friends that I know deeply. I see their kids all the time, and I know they're just a regular person. They have wants, needs, desires. They want to be loved, seen, and heard, just like all of us.
Absolutely.
And the way to really do that is community. Get them out, try things, and so what if it doesn't work?
Right.
We failed at a lot of things.
Oh, yeah.
Things have crashed and burned. Those aren't the things that make it on Facebook or Instagram, right? But you just try, because if you don't try, you will never know.
Right.
It's the same with us. Like I never knew. I was like, okay, I'm going to jump in and do this podcast, Sammy. And she's like, you have enough material, Gina, to do it every week. I said, I don't know. Yeah, I do.
Yes.
So it's the same thing with us, with them. That's why I love it, and it makes me proud to see him grow, as I'm sure you have pride
Absolutely.
in seeing her and hearing
She
from other
blossoms
people.
still today.
Yeah,
Yes.
hearing from other people that we love her.
Mm-hmm.
She adds light to the room. We couldn't do without her. And, like, we miss her when she's sick, or right?
Right.
Or we miss her
Oh,
when she's
yes.
gone.
Right.
So get your kids out there, get yourselves out there, and if you need help with it, you know where to reach me. You know, Bridget, how do they reach you if they want to connect with you, our listeners?
Well, I'm on Facebook.
Okay.
You know, I don't know if it's appropriate to give a phone number because I've had lots of moms and dads.
I'd say stick to
Ask
Facebook
questions.
and Messenger. They can direct message you.
Absolutely.
Right? Through Facebook, but you don't have an Instagram or anything else that you're kind of active in?
I don't.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't.
I just wanted to make sure to.
I'm just a mom. I don't do the social media stuff. But, you know, have such a community, you know, and still stay connected.
Yeah.
I wish it was more so connected when she was younger with this young group of girls that we grew up with. So, you know,
You
they
still
can
have that
certainly...
tight community then from the
Well,
some of them
with
that
a few,
Notre Dame?
not
Okay.
with all of them.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect that. Right?
Yes.
I mean, we all kind of go different ways.
We've
It
all
happens
gone
with us
off our
too.
different ways.
But that's great.
yes.
Because I bet she treasures those friends
Yes, she does.
because she's known them since they
Forever.
were young.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
That's the beauty
she
of that.
Talks to him all the time, and I've even met new ones. And
Yeah.
I'm sure, just like you, if
Yeah.
we're out in the community, somebody recognizes
Oh, I
us
know.
because we're
Do they ever see like?
Kenneth's mom, Jenny's mom.
You ever
I
hear
don't
them
have
say,
a name.
"Jennifer"?
I'm just Jenny's mom.
Yeah.
Yes.
I always hear
am.
Kenneth, and then I'm like, who's calling it? And who is this? I don't recognize them from whatever.
Yeah.
And then they're like, Kenneth, and I'm like,
Yes.
who are you? Yeah, you
Yes.
get that too, I'm sure.
So, anyway.
It's part of our lives.
I think I've been, I've been totally blessed by being picked as a parent to have this young person, you know, in my life and in other people's lives, and see how she affects people, which is so sweet.
And that's beautiful. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming on and sharing
Thank
that with us.
you.
I really
I'm
do.
so glad
I love it.
Could do this.
Yeah, and I might be tapping your brain later as I have another project. I'm not going to tell everybody about that here, but there's a project I'm working on that, aside from the podcast, just a couple of different ideas that I want to bring to the table, and one of them is curriculum based. So I might be tapping your brain for some ideas and feedback on that as I venture into that. It's for parents because I'm all
Yes.
about the parents. Okay.
And if any mom or dad wants to reach out, I mean, I've got so much more in my toolbox, I guess, as far as Jenny is concerned, and what her and my husband and I have done throughout the years, and we would be happy to share that with anybody.
Well, thank you. It's wonderful and great to have somebody on board that wants to do that and is open to doing that, because we can learn a lot from each other.
Yes.
And we do.
We need our community.
Yeah, we do. We definitely do. Okay. Well, so I've gotten over that, how our listeners can find you. I want to remind everybody before we go to our final song that I do have our content out on YouTube. So go over to, if you could do me a favor today, those that are following me on my fan page, go over to YouTube and just click subscribe and share. My content is all out there. This episode is being recorded. It'll be out there tonight. And if you do me that big favor, I would appreciate that. And then, of course, follow me on Facebook. If you already follow me on my business page, Gina Waterman, Grief Recovery Specialist, go over to my fan page, which is the Confessions of a Special Needs Mom host, and like that page and follow that page, because I know I have a lot more people on, like 150 or whatever, on that one channel that hasn't gone over to the fan page. So do that as well. And if you have any other feedback or guest ideas or topics that you want me to talk about, I am open and flexible. You know me. So I have my own set of my own list going, but people come to me all the time like, oh, you should have so-and-so on the show, or you should do this, or da-da-da. So as long as it falls within the scope of our show, which is the intersection of disability, grief, and faith, I'm interested in learning about it and hearing you, but I'm welcome, eager to talk to anyone in the space of disability and grief and faith. So you can email me at movingpastgrief@gmail.com. And of course, you can direct message me online, but I won't always see those right away. So they get mixed in with my personal stuff. So apologize if I don't get back to you right away. So yeah, we are here. And I want to thank Angelo as well, my guy in studio who keeps us looking and sounding great. Thank you, Angelo. And we will cut out here. I'll see you next week, Tuesday, 2 p.m. Central. Thank you.